Olivia sat in her small Denver apartment, staring at the steam curling from her coffee mug. The afternoon light slanted across her desk, where a stack of quarterly reports waited for review. She worked as a supply chain analyst for a pharmaceutical company, a job she was good at though rarely praised for. Her phone buzzed. It was her mother. "Hi, Mom," she said, pressing the speaker button as she typed another line of data. "Olivia, sweetheart," her mother began, her tone soft but hesitant. "We need to talk about your sister's wedding." Olivia frowned. "What about it? I already requested time off. The wedding's in 3 weeks, right?" There was a pause, long and heavy. Olivia's fingers froze over the keyboard. "Well," her mother said finally, "your father and we realized we forgot to book your flight and hotel." Olivia blinked. "You forgot?" she repeated slowly. "It was a mistake, darling. Everything's booked solid now. Peak season in Maui, you know. We tried to fix it, but it's impossible." Olivia stared at the photo pinned to her office wall. Last Christmas, the whole family smiling, her sister Chloe's arm wrapped around her shoulders. They looked like they belonged together. "You forgot," Olivia said again, each word sharper. "It happens," her mother replied quickly. "We've been overwhelmed with planning and Chloe's been so nervous. He feels terrible, of course. But we'll send you photos." Olivia sat in silence, the sound of her own breathing filling the room. "Sure, Mom," she said finally. "Things happen." Her mother sighed with relief. "Oh good. I knew you'd understand. Love you, sweetheart." The call ended. Olivia stared at her reflection in the black computer screen. Forgotten again. That night Olivia couldn't sleep. She lay awake, staring at the ceiling fan spinning in slow circles. All her life she had been the reliable one, the quiet daughter who never caused trouble, never demanded attention. Chloe was the shining star, an architect with awards and admirers. Their younger brother, Evan, was the charming entrepreneur everyone adored. Olivia was simply dependable. She sat up in bed, rubbing her eyes, and whispered to herself, "I deserve better than this." By morning she made a decision. At work, she requested a private meeting with her supervisor, Mrs. Grant. "A year?" Mrs. Grant asked, eyebrows raised. "You want a whole year off?" Olivia nodded. "I've been here 6 years without a real break. I need time to figure out what's next." Mrs. Grant studied her for a long moment. "You've carried this department for years," she said softly. "If anyone deserves a sabbatical, it's you." Olivia thanked her and walked out of the office feeling lighter than she had in months. That evening she sent a message to the family group chat. "Hey everyone. I won't be at the wedding, but I hope it's beautiful. Taking some time off for myself. Love you all." Chloe responded almost instantly. "Wait. What? Where are you going?" Olivia didn't reply. Instead, she opened her laptop and began making plans. Over the next week she sold most of her furniture, rented out her apartment to a coworker, and stored her car. Her phone buzzed with calls and messages from her family, but she ignored everyone. "This is weird," Chloe's voicemail said, voice shaking. "Please call me back, Liv." Evan texted, "Mom's freaking out. What's going on?" Olivia smiled faintly at the screen and turned her phone off. By the time her family realized she wasn't answering, she was already on a plane, heading not to Hawaii but to Tokyo. The plane lifted off, and for the first time in years Olivia felt free. She watched the clouds drift below her and exhaled. For once she wasn't the forgotten middle child or the family's emergency fixer. She was just herself. In Japan she wandered through neon-lit streets, ate steaming bowls of ramen at midnight, and took quiet walks along temple gardens. She enrolled in a calligraphy class in Kyoto and made friends with an elderly woman who taught her to make soba noodles. The woman reminded her of her grandmother, the only family member who had ever truly seen her. That memory warmed her heart. Grandma had left her a small inheritance when she passed away, along with a letter that read, "Use this wisely, Olivia. Make yourself proud." As she stood on a bridge overlooking the river, Olivia smiled to herself. "I'm finally doing that, Grandma," she whispered. 2 weeks into her trip, Olivia went to an internet cafe in Osaka and finally turned her phone on. It almost exploded with notifications. 47 emails from her mother. 29 from Chloe. 18 from Evan. Even her father, who almost never wrote, had sent 3 short messages. "Call us. Please." She scrolled through the subject lines. "Where are you? This isn't funny anymore. We're worried. Your sister is crying. She opened none of them. Instead, she logged into social media for the first time since leaving. There it was, Chloe's wedding in Maui. White sand, palm trees, sunset, flower arch. Everyone was there. Her parents, Evan, cousins, old neighbors. She even spotted an old family friend she hadn't seen in 10 years. Everyone, except her. In every photo they looked happy, laughing, toasting, dancing. No one looked like they were missing a daughter. Olivia stared at one photo for a long time. Chloe in her dress, champagne in hand, her mother beside her. Her mother had written, "Perfect day with the people who matter most." Olivia felt the sting, then felt it fade. "Good," she whispered. "If I don't matter, I'll stop acting like I do." From Japan, Olivia flew to Seoul, then to Bangkok. She traveled light, 2 suitcases and a backpack, and lived like a student. Street food, hostels, budget hotels. But she was not drifting. She was learning. In Chiang Mai, she found a small digital marketing school run by expats and signed up for a 6-week course. The instructor, a woman named Kelly, looked over Olivia's assignments one day and said, "You understand data really well. You ever worked in business before?" Olivia smiled. 6 years in supply chain. Kelly whistled. "That explains it. You're organized. You don't panic." After class, Olivia checked her emails again. This time she opened one from her father. It was a video. He sat in his study looking tired and older. "Liv," he said quietly. "I don't know where you are, but I want you to know we were wrong. We should have made sure you were there. You're our daughter. Please let us know you're safe." Olivia watched it twice. Then she closed the laptop and went out for mango sticky rice. She wasn't angry like before. She was awake. In Vietnam, everything changed. Olivia met a woman named Claire, tall, sunburned, with laugh lines and a loud voice. Claire was from Australia and ran a small export business that connected Vietnamese artisans with international buyers. They met in a coffee shop in Hanoi when the power briefly went out and everyone laughed. "You traveling?" Claire asked. "Sort of," Olivia said. "Maybe starting over." Claire grinned. "Best kind of trip." They met again the next day and soon Olivia was helping her review spreadsheets. "You did this fast," Claire said, impressed. "You understand supply chains?" "That's my whole background," Olivia said. 6 years of moving medical products around the country. Claire's eyes lit up. "Then help me. I've got amazing products, but shipping is killing the profit. If I can figure that out, I can pay the artists more." Olivia leaned forward. "Show me your routes. Show me your suppliers. I can fix this." And she did. In 2 days she helped Claire cut a shipment cost by almost 30%. "Bloody brilliant," Claire said, slapping the table. "You know you could make real money doing this, right?" Olivia tilted her head. "Doing what?" "What you just did. Helping small businesses sell to bigger markets. You've got the brain for it. And you're not scared." Olivia smiled slowly. For the first time she saw it too. She stayed in Vietnam longer than she planned. Claire introduced her to a group of local ceramic artists in Hue who wanted to export their work but didn't know how. Olivia sat on the floor with them, surrounded by vases and bowls, and asked simple questions through a translator. "How much can you produce in a month? How consistent is the color? What kind of packaging do you use?" They looked at her with respect. He was not talking down to them. He was treating them like real partners. Later that night, Claire laughed over drinks. "You've got the thing," she said. "What thing?" "You make people trust you. That's rare." Olivia shrugged. "Back home no one looked at me twice." "That's because back home they already decided who you were." Claire's words sank deep. Olivia opened a spreadsheet on her laptop and began to sketch out something bigger. A consulting service for small makers and factories in Asia who wanted to reach Europe and the US. Her background in pharmaceutical supply chain suddenly made sense. She understood freight, timelines, quality control, and regulations. This was not running away anymore. This was building. By month 4, Olivia earned her first independent commission. It wasn't much, just enough to cover a week's expenses, but it was hers. No boss. No performance review. No being passed over. Just her work. "Told you," Claire said, bumping her shoulder. "You can do this full time." Olivia laughed. "Maybe I will." She still checked her family's messages every 2 weeks in some dark internet corner. The tone had changed. Her mother, we know we hurt you. Please just tell us you're okay. Chloe, I should have checked the travel list myself. I'm sorry. Please talk to me. Evan, Dad hasn't been sleeping. Just send a sign. Olivia read them all, but she didn't answer. Not yet. She wanted to come back one day, but not as the quiet, forgotten daughter who would take any small seat they offered. She would return when she had something undeniable. When she had proof that being left out was the best thing that ever happened to her. She closed her laptop and looked out over the river, warm night air brushing her face. You forgot me, she murmured, but I didn't forget me. Then she opened a new document and typed at the top, Olivia Gray, International Supply Chain Consultant. The new Olivia had just begun. By the 5th month, Olivia's little consulting idea began to grow faster than she could have imagined. Word spread among local business owners that a calm, polite American woman could help them get better shipping rates and access to new buyers abroad. She started getting messages through WhatsApp and email from small factory owners asking for her help. You talk to them like equals, Claire said one night. That's why they trust you. Olivia smiled. Maybe because I know what it's like not to be seen. Within weeks she had helped arrange multiple exports, ceramics, textiles and handmade soaps. For the first time her bank balance was increasing not from a paycheck, but from invoices she created herself. One morning while sipping iced coffee by the window of a rented apartment in Da Nang, she whispered, "This is mine." By month 6 she was running her own small business full-time. She registered her name as Gray Global Consulting, built a simple website, and began partnering with other freelancers around Asia. She worked with a coder from India who designed her analytics dashboard and a Thai graphic designer who created her brand logo. You're really doing it, Claire said proudly. No more boss, no more invisible girl. Olivia laughed. I think I like this version of me. Yet sometimes when she turned on her phone, she still felt that familiar tug when she saw her mother's name or Chloe's long apology messages. But she wasn't ready to reply. Not until she knew she could face them from a place of strength, not hurt. Everything changed again in month 8 when Olivia received a message on LinkedIn from a woman named Victoria Hale, a senior buyer for a mid-sized pharmaceutical company in Chicago. We heard you've been working with suppliers in Asia, the message said. We're struggling with our current logistics. Would you be interested in consulting for us? Olivia almost laughed. The company was a direct competitor to her old employer in Denver. The irony wasn't lost on her. She typed back, I'd be happy to discuss. The video call the next day was intense but thrilling. Victoria, a confident woman in her 50s with silver hair and a sharp voice, asked question after question. How did you manage to reduce shipping delays by 30% for 3 different clients? Olivia answered carefully, describing how she built personal relationships with suppliers instead of treating them like numbers. Victoria's eyes lit up. You're good at this, she said. Better than most consultants I've met. We want to hire you on a 6-month contract. When Victoria named the salary, Olivia's jaw dropped. It was more than she'd earned in a year at her old job. I accept, she said. Over the next few months, Olivia poured herself into the work. She designed efficient supply systems across Asia, repaired broken partnerships and built new ones. Her reports impressed everyone at the Chicago headquarters. Victoria called after one presentation. You've saved us millions, Olivia. How would you feel about expanding your role? Olivia's heart raced. What do you have in mind? Come to Denver, Victoria said. We're opening a regional office there. We want you to run it. Denver. The word made Olivia freeze. It was home and also the place she had disappeared from a year ago. That's where my family lives, she said softly. Then it's poetic, Victoria replied. You left invisible. You'll return leading a division. Olivia smiled. All right. Let's do it. 3 months later she landed at Denver International Airport on a crisp autumn morning, a completely different woman. She wasn't the quiet middle child anymore. She was a respected consultant, soon to be regional director for Apex Logistics. Her first few weeks back were busy, setting up the office, interviewing new hires and meeting local clients. She hadn't told her family she was in town. Not yet. But Denver was smaller than she remembered and word traveled fast. One evening her mother called. Olivia? Are you back? Her voice trembled. His mom. For work. We'd love to see you. Please, honey. Dinner. Sunday. After a long pause, Olivia said, all right. But somewhere public. They met at a quiet restaurant downtown. Her mother and father looked older. Chloe and her husband were already there along with Evan. The air was awkward, filled with polite smiles and clinking glasses. Finally, her father cleared his throat. We owe you a real apology, he said. We forgot your ticket, your room, everything. We acted like it was nothing. It was not. Her mother nodded, eyes watery. We're so sorry, sweetheart. Chloe wiped her tears. You were right to be angry. I should have checked. I just assumed. Olivia raised a hand gently. You don't need to explain. I'm not angry anymore. I just needed space to find out who I am. Dinner was emotional but honest. For the first time in years, her family really listened. Her father leaned forward. So what are you doing now? I'm running the Denver branch for Apex Logistics, she said. We handle international pharmaceutical distribution. Chloe blinked. Wait, you run it? Yes. Evan whistled softly. Our quiet sister turned into a boss. Olivia smiled. Something like that. Later that night, back in her apartment, Olivia sat on the balcony watching the city lights shimmer against the mountains. Her phone buzzed. It was Victoria. Just got word from Chicago, Victoria said. The board wants to promote you to Vice President of International Operations. You'd oversee all global supply chains. Olivia's breath caught. Vice President? You've earned it, Victoria said. You're our best strategist. Olivia set the phone down and let herself laugh quietly. I guess the invisible girl finally showed up. The promotion changed everything. Her story spread through the industry. A once overlooked analyst turned global executive. Journalists reached out. Old colleagues from her previous company sent her messages, some congratulating, some clearly jealous. One day she received a short message from Trevor, her former coworker, the man who had taken credit for her reports and now ran her old department. Heard you're back in Denver. Coffee sometime. Olivia replied, sure. My office Tuesday at 10. Trevor arrived wearing his usual smirk. Olivia, look at you. I always knew you had potential. Did you? She said, offering a faint smile. He chuckled nervously. I mean, you've done great. We could even collaborate. Our companies don't have to be enemies. Olivia leaned back. Trevor, I know you've been tracking my work. I know you tried copying my strategies in Asia. You failed because you don't understand relationships. You understand numbers. His face reddened. That's not fair. It's true, she said softly. You once took my work and passed it off as yours. I let you. Not anymore. She stood. This meeting's over. And Trevor. He looked up. Stop following my LinkedIn profile. It's embarrassing. After he left, Olivia called Victoria and explained what had happened. Victoria laughed. You handled that perfectly. That's leadership. The next morning, Apex released its quarterly results. Under Olivia's guidance, the company had overtaken her former employer in market share across Asia and Eastern Europe. Reporters called it the fastest corporate turnaround of the decade. Her old company's stock dropped. Trevor was quietly let go. When someone forwarded the news to her, she felt nothing. Not revenge, not joy, just closure. Meanwhile, Olivia's family was slowly learning how to be in her life again, on her terms. Sunday dinners became a gentle tradition. Her mother asked real questions now, not polite ones. Are you happy? She asked one evening. I am, Olivia said truthfully. Chloe began calling her for advice about her own struggling design firm. You're the smart one, Liv, she said one night, half laughing. I finally admit it. Olivia chuckled. No, I'm just the one who stopped waiting to be noticed. Months passed and Olivia's influence continued to grow. She traveled to Europe, Asia, and South America, negotiating contracts that reshaped the global pharmaceutical supply network. Her calm, respectful approach became a case study in leadership seminars. One day, Gregory, the CEO of Apex, called her into his office. The board wants to offer you a seat, he said. You'd be the youngest member in company history. Olivia blinked, stunned. Me? A board member? You've earned it, he said. You built our international foundation. She accepted. That night Olivia went to dinner alone. She ordered a perfect steak, a glass of wine, and sat by the window watching planes rise into the night sky. Her phone buzzed. It was her mother. Saw the news about the board seat. We're so proud of you. Sunday dinner. Olivia smiled and typed back, maybe. I've got a flight to Singapore on Monday. I'll check my schedule. She set the phone down, closed her eyes and whispered, Thank you, Grandma. You were right. I made myself proud. In the years that followed, Olivia's career flourished. Her once small consulting dream had evolved into a global empire of respect and recognition. Her family learned to treat her as an equal, no longer as the quiet, dependable middle child but as a woman who had built her own life. The people who had once forgotten her name now introduced her as their greatest source of pride. But Olivia never forgot the truth that began it all, that being excluded from her sister's wedding was not a curse but a calling. It was the moment she was forced to stop waiting for approval and start building her own worth. Moral lesson. Sometimes being left out is life's way of making room for you to step fully into your own story. Thanks you for watching, and please remember to tell us where you are watching from today. Hit the like button, comment and subscribe to this channel for more of this.